Join us on the 8th of March online to talk about micro-fulfillment and warehouse automation. Speakers include Berselli, Pfizer, Cranfield School of Management, Mango Logistics, and more. Learn how urban locations are transforming to become storage facilities, the power of automation in the warehouse, and the cost of new projects. Don't miss this free online event. Register now. Welcome to the Logistics Point interviews. Today I'm joined by Herbert and Have, who is the CEO of Pfizer, and we're talking about automation, warehouses, and also how Pfizer is going to be part of our 8th of March event on micro-fulfillment and warehousing. Herbert, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks, Nick, for having me.
When we talk about automation and warehousing, do you think that it has taken a long time for logistics to just take it seriously as a topic and then as projects?
Sure. Many have tried in the last few years, and I think applying deep learning, AI, has really made a difference. And now you see a lot of systems going into production in logistics, both in warehousing as well in parcel handling.
What are the things that you're most excited when it comes to projects?
We see our integrators building systems for item picking in e-fulfillment, micro-fulfillment as well. So one of our clients is Fabric. They provide micro-fulfillment centers at, for instance, Instacart and Walmart. But we also have other systems out there in e-fulfillment with one of our other 20 plus integrators. But there is a lot going on in depalletizing, and which was really tough because of the mixed SKUs. And so we've got now a lot of installations on that, and with multiple integrators. So that's really taking off right now. That's really nice to see.
And what are the costs that companies should plan for when looking into working on such projects?
My advice would be, if you want to replace humans with robots or to assist them, it's always beneficial to look a bit wider. If you just want to replace one-on-one, a person with a robot, then you'll end up with some difficulties because a robot is not that versatile as a human being. We're having two hands and eyes and walking around, so there are limitations. So my advice is always to look at it a bit holistic, a brighter view, and to see if you can prevent certain issues with the robot by taking off, for instance, the slip sheet or the packaging material or damaged goods, etc. So it looks simple, but there are always, if you really go in production, you will always find things that humans solved themselves and the robot can't, because the robot is limited.
And we're talking about micro-fulfillment, and a lot of it is around going into buildings in city centers and then trying to remodel them to turn them into a warehouse and storage space. Which one do you think is better, to remodel something old or to try and build from scratch when implementing automation?
Yeah, the latter is, of course, much easier to do greenfield instead of brownfield. However, in many cases, they don't have a choice. They need to do something in brownfield. So, but in general, when there is a goods to person system, ASRS, automated storage and retrieval system, then you can, in most cases, you can also transfer it into a goods to robot system and bring certain goods that the robot can pick safely, like dry goods that not fresh fruits, of course. Then you can have a robot picking them and already preparing the order. So it's, I would say, if it's automated with an automated storage and a retrieval system, it's very likely you can automate it also with a picking robot.
Join us on the 8th of March online to talk about micro-fulfillment and warehouse automation. Speakers include Berselli, Pfizer, Cranfield School of Management, Mango Logistics, and more. Learn how urban locations are transforming to become storage facilities, the power of automation in the warehouse, and the cost of new projects. Don't miss this free online event. Register now. And you also mentioned a bit about what we can expect in the coming year and years, specifically in the field of warehouse automation. But how do you think that technologies will evolve?
Now, certainly on greenfield installations where there is full control over how it's designed and which goods are being brought to the robot, you will see there will be some lights out factories if the goods are, let's say, controllable, or you can really bring certain goods to the robot. And so at some point, I think in the next maybe 3-4 years, you will see the first warehouses that are fully automated, and it looks like a service center, like having a lot of computers, and there are some people just sometimes replacing some units, but they are just looking over the operation. So there is no human needed for the operation itself, just to replace maybe a camera or a robot or some other stuff to do some maintenance. But the factory as such will be operated like the current server centers where everything is in the cloud.
Does this mean that we will need to change the way that we view and look at warehousing workers and employees? Do they need to be even more qualified?
I'm talking about a portion of it. So only goods that can be dealt with in an automated way. But there are so many situations, so many products and situations that you cannot automate it fully. So you'll still need humans. So there will be a hybrid situation for years. Same with self-driving cars. It's not solved at all. So, but in some areas it can be automated, and so it will be. And certainly, if it's 7 times 24-hour operation, then it's really beneficial to automate it. And of course, the people supporting those warehouses with all the automated stuff, they will be the engineers that have to do maintenance, replacements, and support, etc. But that's already current automated warehouses also have those personnel, so I don't see that differs a lot.
And in the beginning, I mentioned our event on the 8th of March on micro-fulfillment and warehousing, and you're going to be one of the speakers there. What can we expect from Pfizer and from you?
So I love to give some examples of one of our integrators. So like I said, we have a lot, and some of them don't want to disclose exactly what they're doing, but I can disclose of some of them what I've been doing. And it's really nice, and it's moving along. It's going more in production, and we see different solutions out there. So our software is being used for a different type of automation, which is also interesting because every integrator does it in a different way. And but micro-fulfillment as such for groceries is really taking off. That's for sure.
Herbert, thank you very much for your time. And for the people watching, they can learn more about Pfizer and different articles and interviews that we work with you, and also about the event on the 8th of March in the description down below. Thank you very much.
Good luck.